You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping packages. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she happy. Poke on that pussy shit like it's a top in it. We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie 'cause I ain't capping it.
Welcome back to the DNA podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
There's going to be a struggle one. I'm kind of sick. You can hear it in my voice. Got my little tea and my little Steelers mug. So I don't feel 6 times better when I drink out this bitch. It tastes like a champion. This week we're going to discuss the Kyrie Irving situation. We haven't talked about it. We haven't discussed it because I wanted to let the situation play out and get to its natural conclusion. And I think right now, since he's playing it back in the league, we've reached it. Okay, so the situation basically, hell, this is the whole situation. Kyrie reposted a link to a 2018 movie called Hebrews to Jews. Hebrews to Negroes. Goddamn name right here. It's Hebrews something, goddamn. Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. He didn't have any words. He didn't have a opinion. He didn't have anything. It was just a link. But the movie has strong anti-Semitic views in it. I have not seen it.
I haven't watched it fully. I watched some clips.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and yeah.
And I take people's word on it because they said there's some clips where they said the Holocaust not real.
Yeah.
This and that. So yeah, I take it to the bank. Yeah, there's probably some anti-Semitic stuff. And then when asked on his viewpoint of it, he just simply no commented, and it snowballed from there. That's not even the gist. That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that sums up the events, at least. And this is somebody who has kind of been unplugged from the whole thing. I researched on the documentary soon after, just because it was in I watch news on YouTube and stuff. So like it was in my the videos that they were referencing it. So I went and did my own research because it's always good to do your own research. Don't just follow whatever narrative you look it up for yourself. Yeah, and I watched enough clips of it to understand what the gist of the documentary was, and it's like some Black Israelite propaganda kind of stuff, and it has a lot of anti-Semitic tropes and viewpoints in it. Objectively wrong if you're a student of history. Of course, their counterpoint would be, history is not true or whatever, and it's the hidden history or whatever. But like, just from you can believe what you want to believe, but certain things aren't up for debate, in my opinion.
I think this topic, like this Kyrie Irving situation, raises a lot of topics because first is anti-Semitism, and I think the problem is when it comes to the Black community, we've been shafted so long, that we try to ignore that there's such a thing as anti-Semitism, and I think that's the wrong viewpoint to take.
And I think what it is, especially from my perspective, it's that it doesn't feel like the Jewish, people as probably I think we two are the two most persecuted peoples on the planet, right? Like we have the most hate groups, we have the most everything else. We've dealt with the most amount of genocide and everything else
through history.
Through history.
Yeah. It's like currently I put Hispanics above them. Yeah. God damn it.
Currently, no, but through history, yes. So, like, for them to not ride with us the way that we ride for them is, I see why the community is jaded against them, and why people would turn to these ideologies and viewpoints that are ultimately unhealthy and not good for your own community.
I agree. And the way I look at it is we should be jaded towards them, but not in an anti-Semitic way. We shouldn't downplay what they've been through or downplay just, facts. Like, as you said, this movie is blatantly lying. But I do feel that as a person in the Black community, Jewish people, A, have it a lot easier now, and B, just historically bounce back a little bit better.
Because like the thing is like with like yes, the Jewish people have gone through a whole bunch of atrocities in their history, but they didn't have a system constructed around, especially in America. There was no system set in place to keep Jews down. You know what I'm saying? So like you could always like yes, there was hate groups. Yes, neo-Nazis exist. Yes, this and that, but there's no institutional incarceration, slavery, Jim Crow laws. You didn't live in an apartheid state. Your wealth wasn't taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? You were able to build generational wealth and pass that down and and grow as a community, and your community is reaping the benefits of not having that now. So
and even now, I look at it, stereotypes, I think, is the root of bigotry and racism. The stereotypes are not as strong. And I even say this with Asians. What, you're offended because we think that you're rich? We're offended that we say that y'all control everything? Our stereotypes are worse.
Yeah. But like that's the worst stereotype they have is that that they're baby eaters. And have you heard that? That's like it's really fucking weird. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, so like if you go like far enough back, like a lot of the and it goes back like way back before back in I don't want to say Renaissance days, but like Black Death kind of days, like the plague type days, and like they said that the Jews would eat babies and shit.
I don't hold anything past anybody back then.
Yeah, but Jews are baby eaters, and then it evolved into the anti-Semitism that like exists till today. But that trope is still a thing. If you look into like QAnon and that kind of world, if you know what that is, that's another like far right conspiracy theory. Where and like Pizzagate and all that fun stuff, where they say like politicians and the ultra rich are baby eaters, and they drink the blood of kids and all the other crazy shit. Now, in every conspiracy theory, there is a kernel of truth. Now, but I do not think they're out here eating babies.
Or like even if they did, because that Black Death was no joke back then. You still holding that past people whole centuries later?
It's insane. But like it's one of those things where like,
and let me say, I open it up to, I believe they did. Like I could believe they did, but bro, there was a plague wiping people out like God was smiting them. What the fuck else was they supposed to do?
But the whole baby eater thing was just so they had a scapegoat to blame something on. You know what I'm saying? Which all stereotypes and like negative viewpoints of a race or whatever comes down to. It's to make the other so you can rally your people around something against something else. Because, realistically, a European Jew and a regular European person, y'all can. You know what I'm saying? Now, their peoples might have originated in Israel way back, but they have been there in Europe, mixing with other Europeans for so long that they are not the same. You know, but
I can't agree normally. I can't get my
yeah,
just know my head nod will
will indicate them.
just signify.
Yeah, so like, you know, I think ultimately it comes down to as minorities we need to come together to fight the stereotypes and to build a coalition against hate. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like us as Black people are always fighting for the other person. Because when we come up, you come up. We bring everybody along with us.
It actually makes me sick.
But when someone else comes up, they leave us by the wayside. And it happens continuously. Like I've seen it with the Indian Indian community. Like, they love our culture. They're a whole bunch of them are sneakerheads or into hip hop or into this and this and this and that, but are silent on our issues. Now, there's always outliers. Hassan Minaj is a good example of an outlier, if you know who he is. But you know, look into his work. He used to have a show on Netflix. He got canceled, but I think he still does stuff on YouTube. But as a people, which I don't discourage us doing it, because as the world gets better, it gets better for everybody, and I think it's good to bring everybody up with you. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I try to do in my own life. So I cannot frown upon it for my people to do. You know what I'm saying? So
from my vantage point, I think it's become laughable how
I think if you don't acknowledge it, that's my problem with it. We can still do it, but we have to at least say something about it.
because like in the immediate, I'm against Kyrie for posting the clip. Now, I'm pretty sure that he didn't even watch the movie.
I don't think he really understood the full scope of that and the implications of the video. But
And to be fair, he also didn't post anything else. He didn't post 10 out of 10, go watch.
but a silent endorsement is still an endorsement.
As much implication as we're giving that he endorsed it, why couldn't he say not to watch it and he forgot to type it?
But then he didn't say anything in the interview. That was it's like pleading the fifth in court. You know what I'm saying? You're saying I don't want to talk about maybe incriminating myself.
But take it from a prime introvert. He doesn't need to say anything.
He doesn't. What I'm saying is that as a public figure, your status as an introvert doesn't matter to me.
And so this is where I side with him at. A bunch of stuff has happened that included racism and Jewish people, which makes me turn more to Kyrie's side. So let's go with building block number one that happened recently. This is crazy. I'm not conspiracy theorist. Take the Kanye West situation. He deserved to be canceled. He said some real hateful things, and he deserves the consequences. Did he not do that with black people? Is saying slavery not a choice, and all the other outlandish things he said about black people not as damning. But I forgot what else he said about Jewish people, but he said they control the world and they can get anybody out of here that they want to. Did they not prove him wrong, right?
I think okay.
But right before he had a White Lives Matter, damn whatever, didn't get him up out of here for that.
The reason I think why he got in trouble for the Jewish thing and didn't get in trouble for the black people thing is that as a society, we do not view Black people as a productive portion of society. But Jewish people are perceived as white. Like an American Jewish person
I perceive them as white.
Yeah, because they technically are.
I'm about to say white is a skin color, not a race.
Yeah, but like Jewish people are perceived as white in our society and perceived as productive and upstanding citizens and this and that and this and that. So of course, we can be mad at him all we want, but we're only 13% of the population, right? Now we have a very strong voice, and we can always vote with our fucking dollars, and not buy another easy thing ever. We can, we can hurt his pockets, but he still has, the other rest of the population was like 87%. And some of them might ride with us, but ultimately, and not even all of us are going to ride with us. So it's one of those. It's one of those things where but also Jew hate. Anti-Semitism is one of those things where you are not allowed to do it because it has such strong repercussions on a world stage. Not that our repercussions were even better, but
and that's why I'm upset. I'm upset because we're still fighting white people not to say the N-word. But speak anything about Jews. And I'm just going to go out there. What Kanye West said wasn't even that bad in totality of what could be said.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say
Jewish people.
He didn't say anything, overtly racist, but it was a very loud dog whistle.
True. And I know I hate people who play victim, but who obviously does have power. For him, bro, his bank don't even want to be his bank no more. I didn't know banks did that. I didn't know banks.
Well, they can make you not a customer with them.
I mean, but I didn't know, hey, you gotta store your money somewhere else.
But I think a lot of the companies severing ties with them, and it's not this. There's no. I guess there's a lot of Jewish people in positions of power. And heads of companies. There's I don't know. I think there's at least 5 Jewish billionaires in America. There's a lot of Jewish people in positions of power. Yes, but there's no. I don't believe there's any Jewish cabal of people who are just hey, we're all gonna not work with Kanye no more. It's just that they're all Jewish. And they're voting in their own interest.
Which is true. It's I can never be mad at that, but I'm just mad at I tell you, I get into an argument with a Jewish person every 3 years about who has it worse, who's had it worse. Spoiler alert, Black people's had it worse. By far, too. The gap is from here to goddamn Nevada. But that's just one. That's not what I'm, hedging my bets on. But, also, we just got through with a president who's openly racist. Now, to his credit, he's openly racist to every goddamn body. But you want to know the one thing that he wasn't? He was not anti-Semitic.
No, he has said some anti-Semitic things.
He did?
Yeah, he said some anti-Semitic dog whistles. Not no politician's going to come out and actually say, them fucking Jews run the world. But he said some things, and it's you could easily read into that. You can easily connect all the dots you said in this speech and see where you're leading people down.
Oh, that boy goated because he got away with
it. He didn't get away with it. We all saw it, but you can't. It's one of those things you didn't actually say it, so we can't. It's really hard for us to hold you to account if you don't actually say it. It's the covert racism that we deal with every day.
Which is true. But ever since him, we don't even deal with covert racism anymore.
Oh, it's over.
We deal with real we deal with on overwater racism. I don't know what overwater mean, but I'm trademarking it.
Overt.
But it's the constant media depiction of us only being thugs, ignorant, this or that. How many videos have you seen in the past month of white people calling somebody nigger just to offend them constantly?
Mm.
But there's people who defend that.
Mm.
But it seems like everybody hops on board at the end. There's no room for anti-Semitism. Do you know what they've been through? There's no room for that. And my only retort is, there's as much room as it is for racism towards black. Now that falls on your own independent structure. If you feel like racism towards black is not a thing, boy, I'm not here for anti-Semitism either. It's one of the same.
And that's the thing. It's like we shouldn't we especially specifically in America. I'm not going to talk on
I can't talk about the niggas
around the world because I don't live in around the world, so I don't know what kind of stuff they go through around the world. But in America, the social structure and the framework that society has put up, it is not the same for us too. And like I said earlier, one group has been able to succeed and prosper and do what they want to do. Did they have some pushback? Of course, but was it to the same extent and institutionalized as us? No. So therefore, it's not the same.
Before we continue with the Kyrie Irving situation, well, the fallout, I just want to bring up a point that I've made before. And now I finally got stuff to back it. When I say Jewish people, most Jewish people are white. And I hate when they say that they're Jewish as a race and religion.
It kind of is.
I've met black Jewish people who identify as black. Most black Jewish people identify as black.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's funny. It benefits you when you want to be black. But when you're in that position of power, which we do know you're in, bro, you're white. You just live up to it. And you want to know what made me come to this realization? Drake. It's rare that you hear Drake say he's Jewish. He's Jewish in context of religion, but at every given moment, he will tell you he's black. Mixed, but he says black more. I know a couple of other Jewish people. The black ones always claim to be black. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but we've mentioned this before, my biggest pet peeve. Bro, you're white. I'm tired of arguing. You can't be a Jewish religion and then a Jewish race. I am not here to offend the religion. Anybody, an Asian person can be Jewish.
But like that's the weird thing about like Jewish people, Judaism, and like Israel as a whole. It's because it's so muddied, and because there are people who did not have a homeland for so long, right? So like their race had to leave and be a part of other races, right? And they married other races. They did this and that, did that, and some of them did stay in Israel the whole time, but as part of the apartheid state. But so like they were. So like for me, yeah, like you can be ethnically Jewish and because you can be ethnically Jewish and not be a practicing Jew. You know what I'm saying?
And it's rare that I ran into them.
There's plenty of people.
Shit, never.
There's plenty of people who are ethnically Jewish. They identify as Jewish, but that they don't go to synagogue.
That would work for me if they openly is another religion. Not being a religion.
I mean, being atheist is still a thing. Or being agnostic is a thing.
They would have to say that.
I mean, but even if you don't practice.
Yeah, bro, do you know how many black people actually practice being Christian? It's just a known thing that not all black people are Christian, but it's just like, oh, something you go to church? Yeah, I'm Christian. When was the last time you've been to church, damn it?
But that's the thing about religion, though. Because like I said, I separate, Judaism as a religion, because technically you can't convert to Judaism and all the other fun stuff. You can.
Uh,
Technically, you can, but it actually is quite hard to convert to Judaism.
you feel me? It's not just like waking up
Like
one day.
you can believe Judaism all you want, but it's really hard to actually get into like and go to synagogue every day, every Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I don't know what day they go to synagogue.
Bro, I thought they only went once a year.
No, it's once a week.
So
They have a Sabbath, just like Christianity.
so no bullshit. I thought it was once a year because I thought that was like the time that they're forced to travel.
No, that's you're thinking of Islam.
Oh, yeah,
Where
it is.
they travel to Mecca, but and you're not forced to travel to Mecca. You don't have to go to Mecca ever. It's more of a thing that you do.
Ooh, I thought you just had to go once a year.
I mean, it is a once a year thing to travel to Mecca, and everybody travels to Mecca. But like, Mecca is, and you can go any time of the year technically, but the travel to Mecca is Islam. That's their holy.
And Jewish people go every Saturday.
It's either Saturday or Sunday. It's one of those 2 days for sure.
And like, so those parts I do agree. I just needed to throw it out there because I get so much pushback. Hey, if your skin color is bright and two shades into white, you're white.
But I think, but also there's a difference between because we went to school with a girl named Barbara. She was damn near clear.
She's a high yellow.
She was beyond high yellow. Like if I can find something that was her color.
No, it was apple juice.
She
damn about that color. Yeah, she
like easily could have passed for a white girl from a distance. If you saw her from across the street and your eyesight's not that good, her facial features were black for sure. But she kept her hair straight. And if you were just walking past her on the other side of the street, you wouldn't know. Like, she's just a white girl with a tan.
Do you know that I've never
You never thought about it, but
yeah.
yeah.
I was about to say because she's just always she was just one of them new niggas for it. But y'all knew niggas be as light as goddamn possible. So that's why I coined the phrase high yellow.
You didn't coin that phrase.
I got
it before you.
I got it from somewhere, goddamn. Just for you drink niggas, just for you to situations like this. I'm gonna say I never thought of her being white, but yeah, if you told me she was Hispanic and white,
no, but she's Hispanic and black, as far as I know. I think her grandma is. I think she's like 3/4 black, and her dad's light skinned. So like,
I'm negative 20% Hispanic myself.
negative 20%. Okay, Paco. Anyway, but she, what I'm saying, she could easily pass as white if you didn't look too hard into it. So like, I think like in the scope of skin color in society, what group do they fall into? They don't really fall into Middle Eastern, right? They don't get lumped in with all the Arabs and them, and they don't get lumped in with us for sure. They don't get lumped in with the Asians. They don't get lumped in with the Indians. The Indians kind of get lumped in with the Asians. They are lumped in with the white folk because if they're walking down the street, for most of them, they're walking down the street. What is it going to be judged as on the top of your head? That's just a white man or a white woman.
And I've gone further with my description. And this is what the world needs. I get why most people say white is like, oh, I'm Jewish. I didn't say you're a white American. I just said you were white. So take that how you want. I can go to Asia and find a white guy. Man, it'd be very hard. It would be very, very hard. But it's implied that it's American, but I didn't say white American.
Well, but the concept of white is only an American concept.
Really?
Like
I guess other places they would be that
see
race.
themselves as European, but like I am Italian, not I'm white.
Not white Italian.
Yeah,
No.
I'm Italian. White is a uniquely American concept. Now, does it have its roots in that side of the world? Yes. In the sense of like, racism was kind of invented by the Portuguese and Spanish and them.
And colorism goes on around the world currently as we speak.
Yeah.
So,
but like the concept of white is a uniquely American, and then the colonies that spread from those European countries, but it's not really a thing around the world.
Man, they were dead racist. They were like, I know how we can divide us up. Y'all are colored people, and we are white people. That lumps all y'all in.
And I think the perfect example of this is South Africa. You know what I'm saying? They have an idea of white, but they're also a colony country. Even though the white people there are the minority.
Yeah, that is true. We did go to school for white South African. And he just was
he's just a white guy.
And like it was rare to when he was like something, yeah, y'all have this is weird to me though. He was like, y'all got this fixation on race. I guess in Africa it is a fixation on class. But when he said that, I'm like, damn, maybe colorism isn't around the world. No, that's a lie. Colorism is around the world.
I mean,
maybe just not in Africa.
That's hard for him to say. They live in an apartheid state for like until like the 70s.
I was gonna say when he said that, I was like, damn, maybe people don't look at it as black and white.
Pause.
No, wrong.
Y'all lived in the apartheid state for forever.
But yeah,
y'all they are just as guilty as we are.
And
that's mighty fine talk for a South African person to have, but whatever.
I was about to say, and like it did catch me off guard then when it was just like, oh, so are you then?
As they call themselves. They don't call them African. They don't call them African. They call them Afrikaans.
He actually didn't say that either. I guess he was just being a liberal with us.
Yeah.
I'm about to say,
and he might come from a world where how he grew up. It might not be like that for him, but from what I've heard on the internet about South Africa and how they still operate to this day, there's still a lot of racial tension there.
And also, to be fair too, let me put it out there. I'm not going to sit here and say he's exactly South African. I know he's just a white guy from Africa.
Oh, he might be from Zimbabwe or something like that.
He could be. Like, it was pretty pretentious of me to assume.
Okay, my fault.
But I know for facts he's African. But like when I said he was being liberal, he didn't say Afrikaan. He did.
Oh, that's specifically a South African Afrikaan.
I was about to say
specifically a South African thing.
When we was like, so what are y'all there? We're Africans. Black people, Africans. I'm African. We're just Africans. That's where we're from.
He's probably from another. But even in that world of things, I'm into some country shit, like hunting and fishing and all that fun stuff. So like I've seen like African hunts, and it's always a white person that owns the lodge. It's always it's never an African person that owns a hunting lodge. I've watched at least 200 videos. Now there might be one that exists out there, but that tells me that the white people own the land, or at least the vast swaths of land that you can have run a safari on.
I'm just glad you're thinking big and you think of fishing outside of America. I'm glad that you're looking up fishing spots all around the world.
But I think that's telling on, what I'm saying, they might not talk about it the way that we talk about it, and it might not be as overt as it is here, but there's still some systemic issues for your people to be from another land, and you still own the most of the land in these other countries. Not saying that you don't have any citizenship there or anything like that, but like you don't see how that could be perceived as, hey dog, something right there. But that's not my country, so who can I say? What can I say to that?
You feel me? We fighting a losing front over here. Yeah. Like I can't get on another losing team. If I hop, I need to be on the winning side. I need to be winning someday.
Yeah, my backup plan. If this all goes to shit, I'm going to Ghana. That's my backup plan.
I'm bad shit crazy. I think I'll take my chances on Australia.
I'm good on that.
I think
Everything out there wants to kill you, and then there's like probably 5 black people that live in Australia. I'm good on that.
if I could turn the corner on my bad luck, I could be looked at as a god over there. Boxing kangaroos, whooping their ass, got the niggas running in fear. got the birds doing suicide dives away from me to get away from. I could be looked at as a god if I turned this bad luck.
Shut up.
But to continue through with the Kyrie Irving situation, because if only it was just left there and he was suspended 5 games, I don't think that this would have been a huge issue. Mm-hmm. Not only was he suspended 5 games, it was a media frenzy wanting more suspensions from him. And then even the team dropped side missions for him to come back. It was 6 things that he needed to do before he came back and played for him. One was apologize and condemn the film he promoted, make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, complete sensitivity training, complete anti-Semitism training, meet with ADL and Jewish leaders, meet with the owner Joe Saga, and demonstrate the understanding of his training. All that's bullshit. All that's Jewish people. It's not even Jewish people, but this is the world doing everything it can to tap dance. I've never seen somebody do racist towards niggas and have to do shit like this.
I think the perfect example of this, and it came out this week, is fucking Jerry Jones.
Now there's niggas tap dancing for him to look good. Stephen A. Smith,
fucking coon. Yeah. Oh my God.
I was actually going to do a whole other piece about that, but
I mean, we can just touch on it. We don't have to go in depth on it, but
bro, I can't believe that nigga sell out like that,
bro. He's a Cowboy fan, right?
No, he's a Cowboy hater.
That's right. He wears the cowboy hat to talk shit about him,
which is even funnier to know. Like, so now this is where I'm at with him. He says he's great friends with Jerry Jones, which is shocking. Because, like, the picture ain't shocking to me. I knew that nigga was racist. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew he was racist from the get-go.
Talking about Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, the stories about Jerry Jones being racist has been out for forever. And it's always been dismissed as, like, oh, you know, he's
Crazy Jerry.
Crazy Jerry, or he's an old person. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Which goes into my 2 things. If you're 60 and white, if you're over the age of 60 and you're white, you're either racist or I know you called a black man a nigger in your life. I know that for facts. I dare somebody come out and tell me they didn't. And for 2, it makes Stephen A. Smith more of a caricature because he does all this cowboy shit, but you're best friends with the goddamn owner. I at least thought that he had some beef with the owner, or, you know, just had a working relationship. Mm-hmm. You're good friends, so that means you're just fucking entertaining. I don't like the Cowboys because I hate them niggas. I hope them niggas go 0-17 every goddamn year. And that he loses his franchise. Like, yeah, I hate everything about. He doesn't hate them. He only pretends to fake hate them for ratings.
Yeah.
So this touches a whole bunch of other issues.
And he might like another team that's in their conference. Uh-huh. And, you know, so he might actually have a rivalry for that team or whatever.
Which he does not. Like, this is just Cowboys hate, which I had no problem with because it's like, because he's a Steelers fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that takes my team.
And it was just like, oh, cool, something. I hate the Cowboys too. It's pretty entertaining. But isn't it something to come and find out
that
you're good friends with the owner?
Yeah.
So that means you're not even really hating him. But that's a smaller issue aside. That's just showing that the stuff that he does on TV is a joke. Mm-hmm. But damn, he went to go back for him. He made up every excuse in the book. And this is the last I would touch on it. Everybody is saying that he was 14. What if you were 14? Do you want to bring up something? Well, Do you want all the bad stuff you did at 14 to come out? This and that, let it go. How many 14-year-olds go to jail for one mistake that cost them the rest of their lives? That's all I need to ask somebody. It doesn't matter the race, even though I'm black. It doesn't matter the situation. How many times did a 14-year-old go to jail and then get a second chance? So why does it matter now that he's 14 years old?
My biggest rebuttal to this is, how old was Emmett Till?
I think he was like 15.
14.
He was 14?
14. So my thing is that, number one, we know that Emmett Till, the whole Emmett Till story is a lie, right? Like, he didn't whistle at the white lady. He didn't do anything like that. She made that shit all up, right? He might have just looked at her a little too long.
She probably had a big booty for a white lady back then.
She could have looked good for a white. You know what I'm saying? She might have just been a pretty woman, right? And because he did whatever he did, or he didn't do whatever he did, his life is over. He's tortured, murdered, thrown in a fucking river, tied to I can't remember what it was tied to, but thrown in the river. His body's mutilated. So, like, not only did he die, but his mother had to witness that. The community had to witness that. And to this day, the Emmett Till Memorial gets shot up and desecrated every time they fix it.
And the lady still not been brought to justice, even though she's still alive.
Yep.
But somehow somehow she's above the age to do that. But, they brought Bill Cosby in. I don't know how you do this. I thought Bill Cosby was too old to fucking go to jail, but, you pick and choose. So, like, for him, like, oh, he was 14, or that's not an excuse for me. And I'm not saying that you should have to, even lose your whole franchise, all that fun stuff. I don't think he should have to lose his whole franchise and all that fun shit, but you at least have to address, you can't just not address this. He did address it, but he addressed it how all racist people address things. Try that out to black people. And that's what all racist people fucking do. I have a black friend. I can't be racist. do you know how many black people I employed that made me millions of dollars even though I paid them thousands? That's literally what I paid Dak Prescott $60 million. Bro, you make $250 million every year. Yeah. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing for me. And they do it every time. And that's why, no bullshit. And I get this. That's why I do hate I hate the Cowboys for a bunch of regular every Sunday reasons. But I hate Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin is a tap dancing coon. But there's a reason why Michael Irvin's that way. Michael Irvin should be doing time. He should be doing time and probably not see the light of day. But because he was a Dallas Cowboy, he was afforded privileges and was able to get off with bad behavior because of Jerry Jones and other Cowboys players who swear by his loyalty. But that's slave mentality. Slave owners had favorite slaves that they protected. Hell, that's where house niggas really came. Most house niggas was probably slave owners' sons or daughters. Like, you're niggas that make me money. So, of course I'm going to keep you out of jail. I'm like, Irvin, what you doing 20 years for stabbing a nigga in the neck because he was in your way of getting a haircut? How does that help me? Why should you go to jail, Michael Irvin, for getting caught under the influence 2 or 3 times? And I'm not talking about alcohol. They trot these goofy niggas up there and they swear by all this shit. Niggas eat it up because they black. Boy, we black differently. I would spit on them niggas for doing this little coonery shit. I mean, and, we as a people can't let this shit slide. We can't let this shit slide. When somebody slights us, we have to take that shit into account. And if they don't do penance the way they should do penance, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they should be apologizing for the rest of their lives. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be, they should be, fucking lynched for it, even lynched socially for it. But
if you don't fucking address what you did and then show change in how you operate, ain't shit. That like you bringing out the tap dancing coons does not do nothing for me.
And I think that's the criminal thing, because if you would have spent his life after showing in certain moments that he's a changed guy, or like did things that were ahead of the curve or benefited black people more than him, basically proved that he wasn't a racist up until now. That's a fucked up picture, bro. Why you show that? But you want to know some things that he's done? There's been plenty of instances where he's hired a coach without interviewing a minority, even though it was in the rule. There was instances where his staff was only white people. I think as of recently that was the case. And there was a couple more still ahead in my head that he directly did
That showed.
Yeah. When the Colin Kaepernick thing, he went out and told the world that none of my players will be kneeling or they will be cut. Because here in Dallas, we stand for the flag. When you add up all these things, and then that picture comes out, oh, you just proved what we already knew.
Yeah, we already had our suspicions.
Yeah. Like you just...
Yeah, I can't let that shit slide, dude. Like, what are we talking about here?
And so now I have such a hatred for the Cowboys that I just want to watch them play. Like before, I was watching it, hope to see that they lose, but I can't do much. I'm just gonna stop supporting in every way. If it's a Cowboys game on, I'm not watching that shit. Still hope they lose though.
I'll check the score.
You feel me? Pray to God y'all lose while I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, and I think, but in a way that's voting with your dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because that advertisement time that they're getting off of you they're not getting it now. You know what I'm saying? So
besides the side video I'll make, I will never discuss the Cowboys moment unless that bitch is so radical that I can't. Like I'm talking like if Dak ends up like O.J. Simpson. No, I'm gonna talk about that shit.
But that's more about Dak Prescott than it is about. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that I'll never talk about the Cowboys as a franchise ever again, but it won't be positive. Tell you that much.
And so they get to our point. Jerry Jones is gonna get away scot-free.
Oh yeah.
He got people defending him now. And like there's nothing in place. These things with Kyrie Irving is, one, they're a bit redundant, and two, they're utter bullshit.
I mean, but he's already playing again, so does it even matter? Because
it was so much of a backlash. So like, this goes to my point with Jewish people being catered to. This is the exact list. He had to complete sensitivity training and complete anti-Semitism training. Wouldn't the anti-Semitism be in the sensitivity part? Wait, so I need to take a generic sensitivity training and then take one directly associated with and then meet with Jewish leaders? It says ADL, but I actually don't know what ADL stands for.
It's the American... I know what it means. I can't remember it now, but it's a Jewish group.
Yeah. I've never... When has a racist nigga had to meet with motherfucking John... I can't think of the...
NAACP?
NAACP. I couldn't think of the lawyer that was fat and got skinny. I see what he looks like. Yeah. I imagine what he looks like in my head, but I can't say that shit. I've never...
Fuck this, we're calling Al Sharpton. I love that meme.
I've never heard of this shit. And then the cherry on top of the sundae, you gotta meet with your owner to discuss your training. Bro, the owner is Asian. There is no way in hell that I would go talk to an Asian about sensitivity. Boy, that's all. Bro, I'll catch y'all next year when I'm a free agent, because it ain't... This shit is just trying to make him look bad, which that's where most of the kickback came from. He also apologized too beforehand. I'm not gonna lie, it did look like a half-hearted apology, but he apologized, damn it. And he did try to donate money to anti-Semitic causes. They gave him money back. They said they didn't want his money. Boy, they lucky he ain't Kyrie. Because the second that shit, boy, fuck them. I don't want to give them my money anyway. You know they got some. God, I would have made the situation so much.
Yes,
bro, what's a quarter to Jay-Z, goddammit? Oh, they keep my little 500,000 since they don't want that shit. Boy, if motherfucking O.J. Simpson gave me 500,000 right now, I'd take it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, shit.
Shit.
Bro, I knew you ain't do that shit.
You know, I don't think OJ did it anyway. So.
Yeah, bro, I knew you ain't do that shit, my nigga. Hey, if you give me another 100,000, I'll post about you.
That'd be a promo now. That's wild. Yeah, but like my thing is like I kind of agree with him. Like having to do sensitive. I think having all those, like all 6 of those fucking side missions he had to complete.
To get back to the regular mission, which is hooping.
Having all 6 of them is insane. But having to talk to the boss, the owner, or whatever, and talking to the a group of Jewish leaders or whatever, and it's the Anti-Defamation Leagues. The name is what that stands for. And it's not a Jewish group. It's just like an anti-hate group.
So I got to talk to 2 different groups.
Well, they're pretty sure going to talk at the same time. And then like some form of sensitivity training. That light went out. Is that normal? Okay. Doing 3, I could see. In the meeting one, it didn't have to be public. No one had to know about that. That could have been like, hey, after this is done, come talk to me.
You feel me? Like they wanted an icing on top of the sundae. Like, hey, guess what? When you do all that, he talking to head honcho.
Yeah, that is pretentious.
And I think it's also weird that you're forcing him to donate money.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because isn't the main issue that you want to spread knowledge and not force him to make a random donation?
Because ultimately, making a donation means nothing. Like, could it potentially help a community? Yes. And not saying that he shouldn't make the donation of his own volition, but for you to force him to make a donation, it ultimately means nothing in the grand scheme of because I can just I can say some really racist shit towards whatever group I want to, and then I went and gave this charity and this organization this much money.
Hey,
this is proof that I'm not racist.
I fuck with y'all.
No, that's a fucking bribe. Let's be honest.
And that's where the huge issue came to. And this Jerry Jones thing coming up really helps with the timing because how everybody came to Jerry Jones' defense. Mm-hmm. Nobody really did that for Kyrie, which is so crazy because Kyrie never struck me as anti-Semitic. His message was clear. He was trying to tell that black people are the original Jewish people. Mm-hmm. Now, he did that in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But for nobody to come to his defense, but now this Jerry Jones thing is happening and every nigga under the sun coming to his defense, one nigga actually did it and meant it. One nigga had a message and he said the message wrong. The nigga who said the message wrong is getting condemned more. The nigga who did it and meant it. And so the media burying him, constantly getting on his ass about it. I will never watch Skip and Shannon anymore because Skip was so on ass that he felt he needed to be suspended 15 to 20 games plus the 6 things. And his words...
26 games?
15 to 20 games plus the 6 things on the list.
Oh, plus the 6 things. Okay.
His words is what us in the black community is revolting against. He needs to be made an example. It seems like black people are always made an example whenever we mess up once.
And that's really hard to take from Shannon. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, from Shannon. Shannon has came out a lot and said it feels like whenever a black person does something, we're made the example of. So I guess I'll still support Shannon Sharp, but skip Bayless.
Yeah, and it's like just hearing, bro, you're trying to make it seem like he's. I get that we're on that slippery slope, and I don't want to downplay the anti-Semitic nature in the film, because how many racist white people have done racist stuff, but then people come out, oh, he's not really racist, and we're not really trying to buy it. The reason why I'm on Kyrie's side is because he did not outwardly say that this film is 100% correct. He, up and before he did, that he's let his feelings be known, and that he wants to enlighten more black people in discovering their Jewish roots. So that's why I know the message. And that's why I know that A, he did not watch it, and B, that I know he did not mean it in an anti-Semitic way. And even the owner, not the owner, but the GM, the commissioner of the NBA, didn't know this. He's Jewish, you know. It goes back to the Kanye West thing. He had a talk with Kyrie too. Bonus side mission, bro. This is that DLC drop.
Or maybe he just had a quick conversation with him.
And he said, I've talked with Kyrie plenty of times in the past, even talking with him now. I knew he was not anti-Semitic, and I just wanted to hear why he did it. And basically, he wasn't mad. He's mad at the circus it caused. But even then, he knew that Kyrie didn't mean it in that way. And I think, truthfully, I think the reason why Kyrie did not comment on it, because he knew whether he said anything or not.
It was already done.
I don't think he imagined that it would free fall like it did. But I think he thought his no comment would just, make the rounds for a few days.
Yeah, it'll blow off.
Yeah.
But I think what set this up for the perfect storm for Kyrie is that Kanye. Because Kanye has been doing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
And then it was really bad timing on Kyrie's part.
It seems like all black celebrities now are coming for Jewish people.
Yeah. It was really bad timing.
But do you know what's the cherry on top of the sundae on why I do not hold anything against Kyrie whatsoever? Why is a guy getting more flack for posting a link than the guy selling the movie for money?
Well, I mean...
Which is Amazon. Amazon is making a buck off this movie. Kyrie Irving is not getting a single dime for anybody purchasing this movie.
See, I didn't even know where you could watch it. I watched clips of it on YouTube.
He posted an Amazon link.
I didn't know that.
That's why I was being...
I never actually saw the link. I think by the time it was like time for me to look it up, like it was already down. You already took it down.
That's why I was being ambiguous with just saying link.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you wouldn't hear about that because for some reason Amazon is held to a different standard than...
Because they just sell products. You know what I'm saying? If the content of such products is not their concern.
If Kyrie was
going to be their defense.
Jeff Bezos is not over top of Amazon no more. He's more of a partner and not the face. So, you should associate that.
He's still the face. He's not in charge.
If Kyrie was getting paid for this movie, if Kyrie
if this was a promotion deal, it's different.
He posted a link to his page with nothing. Why didn't Amazon get this flag? And there's been people on TV shows to bring this up when they said this, and the other person, I can't think of it, but it's always white people. Yeah, I understand you, but that's not the issue right now. No, that's the issue to me. That's why is Kyrie Irving allowed to post a link? And this is why I don't think he watched the movie. Why would I assume that something so offensive would be on Amazon?
But I guess I'm okay with Amazon because I don't believe in censorship, right? So you should be able to say whatever you want to say. Now you have to deal with your own social flag. You know what I'm saying? If it falls on you that what you said in your video or what you said in your movie is fucking bad and people don't fucking like it and you get canceled for whatever reason, that's on you. But you should be able to say whatever you want to say. You can be racist as much as you want to be racist. But those repercussions fall on you. So I'm not necessarily saying that. I don't think the movie or whatever should be taken down, and Amazon should be able to sell it if that's what they want to do. But I do think that if Kyrie's gonna get the flack for posting a link to it, Amazon should get the flack for selling it, because there shouldn't be no double standard.
You feel me? And I just want to put a minute point on this. I do gotta believe in censorship, but only when it's so damaging, like this movie is. Why have I been in movie classes and been on forums where people have me watch racist ass slave movies, but it's art, and there's no problem with that. But watching this movie is treacherous. I want can't think of the names of them shits. I watched 2 of them.
Birth of a Nation.
Yep.
That's the one that everybody watches in fucking school, and it's like, this is the fucking worst movie to ever. And matter of fact, in Birth of a Nation, the main character is a Jewish man. Funny story.
But there's no problems with it. It's historical significance. It's showing you how black people were viewed back then, even though that this actually isn't true. So it can't be historically significant if it's made up.
But I think watching Birth of a Nation, especially as in the context of like movie history, is important, because it's one of those things of like, you have to know the evil so you don't repeat the evil kind of thing. But things shouldn't be held to a different standard. Everything should be held to the same standard. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? But this movie, Kyrie's just scum of the earth. Shit. And, bro, I don't need to see no damn Birth of a Nation anymore. When I saw them rednecks storm the White House, I saw Birth of a Nation. Goddamn 2.2, goddamn it. That shit was in 4K. You can get rid of the original one. Just throw in a couple of nigger sound effects and here you go. There you go. Nigger. You know, boy, I don't even need to. I don't even need to even think about watching it, because every day y'all show me a damn Birth of a Nation. You're about to birth a damn menace to society. That's what y'all about to do. But for all those reasons, that's pretty much it on the Kyrie front, besides a bunch of grown men bickering. But that's why I was more swayed towards Kyrie's side. And I should say this up. I normally, 9 out of 10, do not agree with Kyrie Irving on shit. I think he's a guy who thinks he's smarter than what he is. And even in this situation, part of me thinks he wanted to get people talking. But once again, not as smart as what he think he is. Shit backfired on him big time. But I also stand on right and wrong. And in this moment, him being suspended in general, to me, is kind of out there.
I can see how suspending him would have quelled the masses. So from a league perspective and from a company perspective, just them trying to save face and kind of distancing themselves from his brand, right? I see why they would do it.
You speaking of brand, he's also been dropped by everything too.
Like I said, I see how distancing themselves from a brand. Purely speaking, business wise, nothing else. If me being associated with you would hurt my brand, I have to distance myself from you. Not saying that is right or wrong or anything else. And maybe you should stand on your morals and not the money aspects. But I get why they would do it.
I think reacting is always weak to me. Mm-hmm. Instead of just taking the real move you want to, commissioner should have met with him first and then decided a punishment. Not you suspend him and then give him a list of punishments. The suspension is my motherfucking punishment.
Yeah.
Did y'all not suspend me 5 games? And then you give me a list of stuff to do. And then I still got to go talk to such and such. Should I not have talked to such and such? And then I get punished? Like, that's my problem in it. He's getting punished multiple times. When, like, I'm not necessarily mad at the suspension 5 games. I'm mad all this happened after he was suspended to 5 games. Oh, so y'all just reacted and just ran with it. And then, well, the Nets is shiesty. Low-key, I think the Nets, not low-key, the Nets don't really want him. So they're playing this up for their own benefits.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they really care as much as they fronting like they are.
Oh, no. The companies don't, to me, like, and that's why I don't believe in the whole, like, you know, a group of Jewish people, you know, conspiring against somebody. Is simply money in my own personal interest. As a company, all I care about is the money. I don't care about nothing else. Even when I do social outreach and stuff, ultimately that is an investment for me to get your community to give me more money. Let's be honest. So everything else is bullshit. I don't want to hear that you care about you know, especially, and I'm specifically talking about big companies. Like, you know, smaller companies probably give a little bit more of a fuck because it's a more intimate thing. But companies and corporations do not give a fuck about social shit. They want it to be as smooth as possible and to appeal to as many markets as possible so I can get as much money as possible.
And that's why I'm more mad at the black community when stuff like this happens. Because stop defending that shit. Stop going for, you know, the Panthers do community service every Sunday.
I don't care.
And?
Okay.
Good for them.
And they keep doing that.
And they probably get paid to do that, so I don't give a fuck. Like,
I mean, they don't get paid, but they get right off on their taxes.
technically they're athletes. They get paid every day.
Oh, you're talking about the athletes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, like,
I think talking about like the organization as a whole.
most of the time, I mean, I guess front office people can go help. But most of the time in like an organization, well, I took a sports team. You know, when a sports team do something, it's the athletes.
Well, they send the athletes out there, but like, who's paying for the outreach? Like, who's buying the turkeys? Who's doing this? Who's doing that?
True. And so, yeah, like, stop going for this stuff. Stop going for Black History Month.
Because the athletes might actually give a fuck. Might.
Hey, when you told something, you do it.
But they actually might give a fuck about you know, a community or this or that. So
True.
I'll give them that.
True. Stop going for this Black History Month shit. I don't give a damn if a nigga built a damn statue to the moon of Martin Luther King. Congratulations. You built a statue to the moon. In the month of February, you're a hero for this day. Like, that don't make it so you can't be racist.
Yeah.
That don't.
Yeah, it for me, the corporatization of Black History Month and in extension Juneteenth, it's disheartening.
It's criminal.
Yeah. And I just, you know, it's hard for, and I'm not saying that we should not celebrate Black History Month or celebrate Juneteenth or anything like that, but it should be rooted in the sense of like, hey, this is our history and we're going to make it heard and like be unapologetically Black, but you should be unapologetically Black year round. It shouldn't be a once a year thing and then one time in June. It should be, you know, you doing research on Black issues and being active in your community year round and, you know, supporting Black creators and Black businesses and doing all. You should be doing this year round, building Black wealth, keeping the Black dollar in the community more than 2 hours. But that was a little bit of a tangent.
Nah, I feel it. Hell, celebrate Thanksgiving, but don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I celebrate damn day off. I celebrate Holy November 25th.
Right. And for me, like, we all know that the Thanksgiving myth is a fucking myth, right?
Bro,
So, like,
that shit's just a glorified murder to me.
literally is. It literally is. It's like it literally is the. They used to have Thanksgivings of them after killing fucking tribes of Indians, and they come back and have a fucking feast about it. That's where the roots of it is. It's crazy. But I think Thanksgiving in the concept is good to, like, what are you thankful for? And it's one of those things for me is like, what is valuable to me in this, what has happened this year that I'm thankful for? And it makes you reflect on your life and what's happened and the good things that happened and even the bad things that happened. And so I think the concept of Thanksgiving is great. The myth behind Thanksgiving, horseshit.
I don't know if my family did this on purpose, but I know none of us even call it Thanksgiving. It was like hey, you gonna be here Thursday? While we're there, hey, we about to go over to such and such house to eat. Like, it's all implied that it's Thanksgiving, but that bitch ain't said once. Hey,
I mean,
hey, what days you have off next week? I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, cool. Bro, I just look at it as a day I ain't got to go into work.
That's fine.
And shit, to your point, I'm about to start doing that more often, goddamn. Let that just be a time of the year that I just don't go into work. Thinking about taking another damn holy 25th off next week.
I hate you.
But to sum this up, because my voice is going.
I'm surprised you made it this far.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's like sometimes when I talk, the more that I talk, it's like getting in.
Yeah.
But then it's like I cool down and
it's fucking
and that bitch hurts. But I feel what Kyrie did is stupid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have recommended that he went down the route that he did.
Yeah.
But I think the backlash that he received is even dumber. Now, in retrospect, that we have something directly to base it off of, such as Jerry Jones will race his ass out there looking like motherfucking some nigga off of Venture Bros, looking like one of the bros off Venture Bros, trying to stop perfectly good Negroes into the school.
Yeah, I think the crime did not equal the punishment. I think the punishment was way out of bounds for the crime that he committed. You know what I'm saying? And not a real crime, just social crimes. So therefore, I think the whole situation is kind of fucking invalid, and we kind of shouldn't talk about it no more. Like, it shouldn't be brought up as a ding against his character, especially in relation to Jerry Jones. There's no way you can let one slide, not the other.
You feel me? Let that man just go hoop. Man, what the fuck is happening with Brett Favre? Why ain't nobody discussing this?
I was gonna bring him up, but we were kind of going over. But yes, fucking Brett Favre.
I want that to be the last thing y'all hear of me. Goddamn it! Damn, Ime Udoka and Kyrie damn dominated headlines. What the fuck is going on with this nigga?
Brett Favre.
But
there's somebody else who's potentially in trouble for something. I think it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
There's another star quarterback that's like, that is coming out like they're kind of in trouble for stealing fucking money.
That nigga Tom Brady shiesty as hell. He's got no way.
I think it's Tom Brady. I gotta look that up.
Because that nigga look like a square, he's gotten off so easy. But we out.